Hi everyone! Welcome to Japaneki. This week we want to talk about the procedures of going to Japan with the help of Google Nihon. So the first step was finding about Google Nihon. I found about them through Google search simply. They had a funny video where they tell you they're gonna help you for the visa and they don't charge you anything. So I was intrigued by it. At first I was going to go with a working visa, working holiday, but when I discovered about Google Nihon and the schools to learn Japanese there, I thought it would be much more interesting. So the first step was contacting them, and they ask you some questions, whether you studied Japan before, what's your experience.
So the first step is to choose a school. So you can choose a school depending on where you want to be in Japan, if it's Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, and they have many more choice. And also the intensity of the course you want to do. So after you choose a school, you have to send an application form. So you fill the form on the internet, it's really simple. And then you have to scan a few things like a passport, you have to send a photo, a bank statement or a bank statement of your sponsor, and a few other things. And you also have an application fee that you can pay on PayPal, so it's really easy and simple.
And this money is really for the school. Like Google Nihon is a free service, so the money really is really for applying to the school. It's not for Google Nihon.
And after, when you send all these documents, Google Nihon send it to the school, and then you have to wait for an answer from the school.
Yes, and depending on your situation, this can be really quick or it can take a long time because they ask you some other questions, and depending on how many years of education you have, you might have to clarify things with them if you have a complicated history or something.
Or like the bank statement, like we thought we could do it by our own, but finally we both have sponsor.
And after, when the school has approved your application, they tell Google Nihon, and then Google Nihon tells you, and then you're registered as a student, so the rest is simply procedures. And after that they send you an email with all the steps and everything.
Yeah, this happened about 2.5 months before your leaving date. So this is when you can book your flight and starting to prepare your stuff and everything. So it's really easy to talk to Google Nihon. You do it by emails and they answer pretty quickly.
Once you have your flight booked, you can then fill in the accommodation form. You choose whether you want to stay at the dormitory that Akamonkai has, not every school has it, or you can go for an apartment, or you can shared house is a popular option because it's less expensive, and you can also stay with a host family. It's a little bit more expensive, but you have 2 meals included in the price per day. So if you don't like to cook, that might be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you really get the experience of living within a Japanese family. So
yeah,
that might be interesting.
Yeah, we chose the Akamonkai dorms finally, so we have a room.
Yeah, and we have even room numbers and stuff like that. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna be on the same floor. So
yeah, it's pretty cool. And now, about a month before you leave, you will receive an email from Google Nihon, and then it's crazy time! So yeah, you receive an email and they tell you to pay the school first, so you have to send them the first 6 months of tuition fee, if you stay for a year like us. So you do it by international bank transfer.
I had some problems with that actually, because we noticed that we didn't have to pay the same amount even though we were registered for the same thing. Well, that's what we thought, but then they told us, you're not registered in the same course because you, Victor, only have 11 years of education, so you're in the university preparatory course.
Yeah.
And I was like, first I have more than 11 years of education. I have like 14, and I want to be in the general course. So there was like, oh, sorry, everything is fixed, and so I will pay less on the other 6 months. So in the end, it's alright. So thanks Google Nihon for fixing everything.
Yeah. At first we were like, what the?
What the hell's happening?
Yeah, why aren't we not paying the same amount?
And it's stressful, you know, because
it's a lot of money
yeah.
that you send, and you're not really sure if it's going to, like, do they receive my payment or not. So
yeah,
I was really
we
stressed.
were about to leave, like there's only 1 month left, so if there's a mistake somewhere, there's no time to fix it, because and the plane ticket is already bought, so if something happens, you don't have time to do things all over again.
So yeah, it's a pretty stressful month before leaving. So, and after you pay the school, so you will receive a
certificate of eligibility, which is like your. It's not the entry card to Japan, but it's the document you need to apply for the visa, which is the final step before actually taking the plane and leaving.
Yeah.
And I think it's the most stressful step.
Yeah.
Because
for us, we're really stressed right now because our paper is at the embassy of Japan in Canada, and we send it by the post because we live far away from the embassy. So we're like, I hope everything is fine and we get our visa before leaving, because with the post and everything, it's really stressful.
And we might have to go pick it up there if it's not ready in time for them to send them by the post. But that would be bad, because we have to make a detour. So
and like we have a really bad timing, because the embassy of well, it's the consulate, but anyway, it's moving on the 19th.
Yeah, and they're closed like from the 20th to 23rd.
Yeah, so it's less time for us, and we're like, oh my god.
it's so tight. Like it's gonna be ready if they receive it like today or tomorrow. It's gonna be ready by the 26th or 27th, and then on the 28th and 29th it's the weekend, so there's no post. So if it's by priority mail, it's usually on the morning after that you receive it, which would be the 30th, the March 30.
Yeah.
So it's like we're leaving on the next morning, and we have the visa the day before, so it's really short in time.
Yeah, so we're really stressed right now.
Yeah, so, and after that, the next thing we'll have to do are going to be in Japan. That's about what you need to do before. You have to know that you cannot apply too early. Like, for example, if you want to leave in 2 years, there's no reason to contact Google Nihon so early, because they can only accept applications, I think, 6 months before.
Yeah, approximately.
Yeah, so.
So that's about it for the procedure to apply with Google Nihon. It's pretty easy, like everything is done by email and forms on the internet, and it's really simple, and I was pretty happy with it.
I'm glad we chose to go with Google Nihon, because you can choose to apply directly at the school, but I don't think it would be as supportive as with Google Nihon. And they also have live streams that you can ask questions, and they have students that are there talking, teachers of the schools there that give information. Well,
that's it for today. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi everyone. Welcome to Japaneki. This week we will be answering some of the most common questions we get from people in our daily lives. So one question we get really often is